I'm genuinely terrified of looking old. How do I accept that aging is normal? A realization that I had somewhat recently is that it is truly a blessing and an accomplishment in a way to live into your old age. It's a privilege. It's a blessing and a privilege to live into your old age. Not everybody gets to have that experience. And yes, something that comes with that is looking old. But if you look at it with some real life perspective, if you zoom out a little bit, it is a privilege to have wrinkles. Now, I know it's like everything's relative, right? And it is totally normal to be afraid of aging. And so I'm not like trying to like be like, look at the bigger picture here. Okay. Now stop thinking about like wrinkles. Like we'll zoom back in. But like something that's given me perspective whenever I start to worry about the small shit, like what I look like or like, little work related things that stress me out. When I get hyper focused on something that's ultimately inconsequential, like that type of stuff, and I let it consume me, I have to take a step back and look at the bigger picture. And the bigger picture is this. The bigger picture is that there are so many souls that didn't get to experience wrinkles for whatever tragic sort of reason. And to experience aging and getting wrinkles is to have been, for the lack of a better word, blessed enough to exist for that long on this planet. Like, I'm at a point now where anytime I start focusing on the small stuff, I'm like, I actually just need to be fucking grateful I'm here. Grateful I'm here. Grateful for the fact that for all of the blessings that I'm actively experiencing in my life. And I'm not even saying blessings necessarily in like a religious sense, but for the lack of a better term, like to keep it broad for those of you who are maybe even atheist, okay? I don't care if you're atheist, it doesn't matter. There's always something to be grateful for. I personally can't justify worrying about wrinkles at this point because the more wrinkly I get, the longer I defy death. That's just the way I look at it. And so that makes me not afraid. I'm not afraid of aging. What's worse, that or dying? You know what I'm saying? Now that's the way I put it into perspective for myself, right? Seems extreme. Seems like zooming out too far to some of you perhaps, but that is a reminder that I give to myself whenever I get hyperfixated on something like looking old that's ultimately inconsequential, right? But I also think, if we were to zoom back in, it's normal to fear aging and fear looking older because we do experience the celebration of youthfulness. That's part of the beauty standard. So it's normal to fear aging because we're constantly being reminded that youthfulness is what we should be striving for. Whether it's in commercials or it's in an article with me as the face of it that says Gen Z's aging like milk. Why is that? It's like we're constantly being reminded that youthfulness is valuable. And so it's almost not even our fault that we fear aging. It's like we're being told to fear it. And so even though there's this bigger picture, it is still normal and I think natural to still fear it because we want to be accepted by our peers. We want to feel beautiful. We want to feel all these things. And there's a lot of odds stacked against us as we age. But I think in addition to, kind of reminding yourself of the bigger picture of life as a whole, which I think helps with this type of stuff, I think on a more macro level, it can also be helpful to just focus on what you can control. Okay. There are many things that you can do that will help you age in a way that's perhaps more ideal in your head, right? That ultimately are actually healthy for us, right? Whether it's wearing sunscreen or it's having a skincare routine ritual that keeps your skin healthy and hydrated, or it's drinking a lot of water, or it's eating well, or trying to eliminate as much stress as possible. There's so many different things that you can do that are in your control that will help you age perhaps in a way that is more like focus on what you can control.